All right, guys, so we are back with a combo video. This is for my elemental hero, my more casual build. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna shuffle up, just show you guys some test hands, explain to you some of the routes that we're gonna be taking here. Basically, this deck is it's more on the lines of casual. But because of new Wingman, we have a lot of lines that we can go into with 2 cards that allow us to do more now, more than literally ever with this deck. Or really with any pure elemental hero deck, we were never really able to play the way that we were until we got the support from Power of the Elements as well as new Wingman. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead, I've shuffled up pretty well here. I'm gonna go ahead and draw a 5-card hand, show you guys what we're looking at here. We've got 1 Crosskeeper, 1 Rhoda, 1 Instant Contact, 1 E-Call, and a copy of EN Shuffle. So what we're gonna do is, usually scope and sequence is very important in a deck like this because your opponent is going to want to hand trap and interrupt where they can. And with a deck like this, sometimes it's kind of harder to survive when you get hit on a very important choke point. So basically we have E-Call and Rhoda. As long as none of these get hit, you can play, at least for this specific hand. So we're gonna start off, I'm gonna actually activate Rhoda first. If my opponent hand traps it, I have the E-Call. I would actually go for the Rhoda first, target the Stratos, normal my Stratos, use his effect to grab a Spirit of Neos. Now right there, if I was to get hand trapped, I would go for E-Call, go for Spirit, and then go for Crosskeeper, okay? But now, because I didn't get hand trapped, obviously I'm basically playing solitaire here, I'm gonna continue my plays like normal. Now what I would do in this situation is I would actually go for the EN Shuffle, targeting the Stratos, shuffling him back into deck, and going out into a copy of Spirit of Neos. On summon, he's gonna grab your Engage. And this will all kind of make sense in a moment here when I show this. I'm gonna go E-Call. E-Call is gonna go ahead and get me my Shadow Mist. Now, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna go Engage, pitching the Mist. After we pitch the Mist, we're gonna go ahead and pitch one of our Neospatians. I'm gonna go with Dark Panther, and then we're gonna summon out the normal OG Neos. We're gonna get 2 things. We're gonna get Poly off of Engage, and then off of Shadow Mist effect, we're gonna go ahead and grab ourselves a Liquid Soldier. After we do that, we're gonna go ahead and reassess our hand here. We have a lot that's going on. We have access to Crosskeeper, we have access to Liquid as well. Our graveyard has access to Shadow Mist, another Neospatian. So essentially what we're going to do here is we are going to poly away the Liquid and the Neos. You're gonna go ahead and get out a copy of the new Wingman. When you do that, you're gonna go Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, and I haven't used Crosskeeper yet, so that's a surprise tool we're gonna use for later. Always go Chainlink 1, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, because our chains are gonna resolve backwards. I'm gonna draw 2 cards. Now, if one of these was the trap, you could pitch it away and then just grab it back with him. So, being that that's not what happened, we could go ahead and we could pitch the Aqua Dolphin, or keep him, it's up to you. I mean, it doesn't really, you know, whatever floats your boat. Then I'm gonna activate his effect, get my trap card. After I do that, I'm gonna go ahead, use his effect, tribute him off, get out into my Sunrise, and I always play in defense, kind of when I finalize my board, because you never know what your opponent's playing if you're going first, unless you know what your opponent's playing. If your opponent's playing something OTK heavy, you may not have a good time. So that's why I always try to go into defense and see what we can do. I would then go ahead and activate Crosskeeper to just bring back this copy of Shadow Mist. So that sends Crosskeeper to the graveyard, brings her back. And then I would actually just set the favorite contact and end my turn. So I have a couple things in hand here. Okay, one, I have some things for next turn. I have an interruption. I have 2 pops on board here. So if I go favorite contact, I usually wait for my opponent to make a move or 2. Sometimes it's right before battle phase. I'll flip over favorite contact, activate it, and then watch them kind of struggle. But Shadow Mist will be live. So if this does get destroyed, you get a search. So let's say, my opponent goes, let's activate this. Okay, I'm gonna go bam. I'm gonna activate favorite contact. I'm going to return him to extra deck and OG Neos to deck. After I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and get out into my copy of Shining Neos Wingman, which we will put right here so you guys can see it. After that happens, I'm gonna activate Crosskeeper from Grave to draw me 2 cards and then place one underneath of my deck. And then my opponent will now have a chance to respond. They will probably do something that may destroy my whole board, and I'm going to showcase that. All right, so let's say my whole board gets destroyed. All of this, including the Shadow Mist, Shining Neos. Shadow Mist is going to activate its effect. I'm going to get a recur here. I'm going to recur the Stratos. So my opponent wipes my board. I don't know, say they used, I don't know, just, trying to showcase the worst situation where I'm completely empty. Then my opponent's gonna attack. And then I'm gonna go Spirit of Neos. After I do that, because I know what I have in my hand already, I have instant contact, I'm gonna wanna grab a copy of Neos Fusion. So hopefully my opponent doesn't then destroy that before I, get a chance to take my turn. So my opponent, who knows what they're gonna do. That they could kaiju that away. I don't know, some weird stuff could happen. Let's just consider that dead. Okay, so then I'll start my turn. Oh, that's ironic. What I would try to do here in this situation is I would try to bait my opponent as hard as I could, because I only really need 3 cards here. Instant Contact, Neos Fusion, and Miracle Fusion. So I'm gonna set those right there. I'm gonna try to play with these. I would start with an E-Call. I would go ahead and you could honestly search any elemental hero, because you're literally just gonna go for engage and try to get Spirit on board. So I'm gonna go ahead and go engage, sending burst, and then I'm gonna send, I think I had Grand Mole in here. I'm gonna send Grand Mole. Now you don't really wanna get out, oh, maybe I'd use both of my spirits. I use both spirits, okay, that's fine. I'm gonna get out of No Genius. Which again, if I was playing, I probably would have looked at my graveyard, went for EN Shuffle, but I'm just trying to showcase this to you guys. I would then summon out Stratos, see if I could pop something. And again, I'm just trying to get my opponent to respond. So then I could go like this. I go Miracle Fusion. I'm gonna go ahead and take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Goes to Grave, and then I get out into my Wake Up. After I do Wake Up, I'm gonna go ahead and go for the Instant Contact, where I'm gonna go ahead and get out into my OG Wingman. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go Neos Fusion. Take those 2. And since I have the Stratos on board, I have a Light and a Wind, that's 2 attributes. Push for game, as long as even if I'm attacking empty, it doesn't matter. 4,000, 4,000. GG. That was one hand I showed. I don't really want to go and take up 30 minutes of everybody's time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shuffle this deck up pretty good. I'm gonna do a couple test hands and just show you, kind of explain what you can do with them. But after seeing that, you should kind of have a good gist of what the deck wants to do. The deck wants to try to make Shining Neos Wingman turn 1 as an interruption. as well as get follow-up play in the form of Miracle Fusion, as well as Spirit of Neos. You need the Spirit of Neos in case your opponent has something that they can OTK with. That way you're not left completely empty. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There is a lot you can do with this hand. If you were to get hand trapped off of the Hero Lives, you still have Engage. If you wanted to risk it and go vice versa, start with Engage, bait a hand trap, go Hero Lives, you can get Stratos, Crosskeeper, Stratos, Search the Spirit, Crosskeeper for that. So that's one hand. I'm just gonna do them like this just so that way I can save some time. Okay, so this hand is not horrible. I'd normal summon out the Stratos, get the Liquid, EN Shuffle for the Spirit. Spirit, honestly, just for probably something like a polymerization. Poly those two. You have Miracle, you have Spirit. That's a pretty solid hand. On the next one, 1, 2, 2, 3, 1 too many. Okay, so this is one thing that is beautiful about the classic heroes is if you have them in hand, you could just pitch them for EN Engage. You could summon them out, go EN Shuffle. Okay, they are garbage. They are garbage. But one thing that a lot of people are overlooking is they turn him into a much better card. Because on summon, bam, gets the trap or gets favorite hero, the equip. Okay, you can get one or the other. But then you could tribute it off if you use a normal. So effectively making him a much better card. Making any of the vanillas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's pretty broken. Not even gonna explain that one. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Hero Lives for Stratos. Crosskeeper into what's his name? Okay, so see, this is actually a pretty decent hand. I would love to play that out, but we're already at 12 minutes, so I'm not trying to take everybody's time up. Hero Lives into Stratos. Stratos grab Spirit. Crosskeeper into Spirit. Go for the Engage. Pitch that. You know, get all your stuff. You could then even go Neos Fusion. And then just get out, you know, get something out to have that protection later on. Or you can hold on to that. Actually, yeah, that might even be better. Hold on to that. And then, you know, try to search your Spirit of Neos and then get the instant contact for next turn. That was another solid hand. Again, I know hand traps exist. They suck. But sometimes you just have to eat them. You know, you just have to kind of like deal with them. All right. Emergency call. I'd go Stratos. Stratos, search Spirit. Feed Hero out the Spirit. Get to Engage. Pitch the Panther. And then you have these for next turn. You can go into OG Wingman. And then Neos, really all you need is the Miracle Fusion. It's pretty solid right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. That's another solid hand. E-call for the Stratos. I mean, at this point, if you were to get hand trapped, it wouldn't be the end of the world. You can go Blaze Man, go Poly between these two, and then use this to search for the Spirit of Neos. Summon it out with that or that. Go for, you know, whatever you need. Another decent hand. And I think this is the last hand that we're going to showcase. Another banger. I mean, it's the best deck in the world now. This deck has actually beaten some pretty competent decks, so I have to be honest. I've beaten Trap Tricks. This deck has actually beaten some Kashtira variants. Super Heavy Samurai, I haven't played enough of. This has beat Cyber Dragon. This has beaten Water Control, like Karyushin. What is like that Mako Tsunami deck. But basically, you would go out for the Stratos. Your opponent decides to hand trap you. All right, go for that. Grab the Neos, Poly between these two, and then you can get your trap set up. There's a lot of stuff that you can get set up with this deck. I love it. This is definitely the most fun version of the deck that I've made. But guys, all right, so just so everybody knows, if you haven't seen it so far, we are doing a giveaway for one copy of Elemental Hero Flame Wingman Infernal Rage. All you got to do is hop on to either this video or the actual deck profile and tell me why heroes make you feel nostalgic. Tell me that. I will pick the most compelling nostalgic story and get it for free. So, guys, that was a combo video. Oh my god, I almost said learning YuGiOh. Slay for Slacker out.